This steelpan was inducted in the National Steelpan Hall of Fame.
First, I came from an area with Spanish influence, East Indian, the African influence, everything, you know. So all of these little things helped me develop who I am today and the way I play. And as I said, that is something that comes from unique from within me. And that is the way I choose to play because that is the way I grew up playing. As I say, being a tutor and everything, I don't think I could teach people that. I could tell you about it and I could play it for you. But for you to play it, it will take some work for you to really play because how I play and how I see things and feel things is totally different from you. And how I interpret it. And that is the way people choose drummers, because not because they can play good, but they like his style of playing. That style could fit my music good, you know. And maybe that's how I work with so many bands in Trinidad, you know. Because they wanted that particular style of playing. And it was an honor and a pleasure to work with so much different arrangers. Because like down in the West, I work with all the bands down in the West, basically. Silver Style, Phase 2, Invaders, Style, if I drum for all of them. Even like coming up in Tongue Renegades, Desperado, I drum for others twice. I mean, and getting into these bands, it says something. You're going in them bands just like that. Them is big bands. So these things was great experience and it could go down as some of my greatest moments in playing, you know. Because I mean, as a little fella growing up, I remember the band I hear is Desperados, and I was like, Desperados is the only band in Trinidad, or, you know, because I was a little fella. Not knowing today, I went to play with Desperados or drum for them. And not on one occasion, on two occasions. I jumped for Exodus a couple of years. I jumped for Tornadoes Long Point a couple of years. I jumped for Lichong Panglo. I jumped for Chorus. I jumped for Angel Harp, you know, and the name goes on. Tobago, I do Cats and Jammers and Mellow Harps and our boys. And then the big band category, the small band, I do like Nostalgic and Shades and Steel and Tripolians and all these bands. So, you know, it was really a joy to play all these different kind of arranged music and things. And you learn so much from, and it says something like that, hey, young people appreciate what you do, you know. I mean, but playing with all of these, but a different culture when you go by these bands, you know. It wasn't just like you're walking, I think you have to understand what's going on there. Musically and the atmosphere, everything was totally different. So them thing, I enjoyed them thing. It was a learning process for me. And I will do it all over again if I ever get the opportunity and get back to my good self, I would do that all over again because I just love playing. I even drum for the Army for the World Festival in New York. They take me to drum for them. I was surprised because, I mean, I'm not a Army person in the Army. I'm out of the Army. And they hired me to drum. I did the World Festival in New York with them. My style basically remained the same, but I added in a lot. I tried to do as much as I could with today's drumming, or the style that outside there today. I tried to kind of combine the both of them and make something out of it that would sound unique, refreshing, and nice, you know. I could use an example in the sense of, like I drum for Shadow Stranger, right? Now, that particular style of drumming I play there was totally different to the everyday recording you hear, in the sense of soak up songs and things. It was basically like a basic beat, a drummer holding, you might make a phrase or something like that. But that one, I kind of experiment on it. I do a lot of things, not on my own, but with the permission of Shadow, because that's his music. So that kind of changed the style of even soca drumming. Because after that album, and people hear my style of playing on the album, the whole style of drumming and the soca drumming kind of changed a lot. it wasn't the basic pattern. People was all about the place doing all kind of pretty nice things, you know. Sometimes of them, to me, like some of them kind of overdo it. Because nowadays, to me, everybody like they want to sound particularly the same way. I don't know for what reason. And I would say, even as a drummer, you have to, people must identify you by your style of playing, not what you're playing from somebody else. Yes, you could copy, you learn from these things, but you have to be yourself, and that has only come from maybe hard work and practice. I don't think that anything else could do it for you, you know. Some of the more favorite patterns I play soca patterns. Actually, I have scored some soca patterns and other genre patterns for drum kit and things, which I created myself, right? Which is very pretty challenging to play as a drummer. We had to put in the work in order to play it, but I come up with these ideas, and soca has really helped me along the way, because that is the kind of music basically I started playing. I mean, that was one of the easier things. In them time was shorty, you know. That was the first that a soca pattern came out was from shorty, like Om Shanti and, you know, them songs. So, and everything evolved around that, developed around that. Nothing much intricate thing, but more your pattern on a snare drum and things changing. So now it's a more kind of groovy, kind of funky soca, you know, that kind of thing. So, and yeah, you know, everything comes out for me, basically come out of soca. I can explore plenty with soca when I'm playing, you know, okay, so as the case for me. I can hit such shots as I want to, compared to other genre of music, you know. So I love my soca, you know, I actually to the bone. Soca rhythm have so much other influence in it, Spanish and French and all this kind of thing. So it basically easy to play. Like, let me say you're playing a Panorama song and you want to change rhythm. Unless the time signature is changed from 2/4 cut time or 4/4 to 6/8 or 3/8 or whatever it is, it's easy to slip in because the connection is there. It's straight kind of groovy thing going on the road. So like, let me say you're playing a soca or a calypso and you want to change a merengue beat. It's very simple. It's just maybe to make a certain phrase or a certain drop and you're going into merengue, but they all mesh together. It's not like you have to bust your head, how I get into do that, how I changing that, you know. Because of the fact that, as I say, all these different Latin music, it kind of relate to soca or the French pattern as the case may be. So it become part of the soca in a sense. So it's easy to really do it. It's not a big set of hard work. I like pop rock. I enjoy that. Soft rock, I love that thing. Actually, in 1999, I went best rock drummer in pop rock in Anchorage. So that's to tell you how my drummer has spread. It wasn't only steel band alone. It was different type of drumming. I did pretty like everything you could think about, you know, in the sense of genre music. Some of the memorable performance I have is like festivals. The Steel Band Music Festival, when you go to the complex and they set up all the bands set up on the court and they see all these big bands and Samaroo Jets in a little corner by itself. So that used to be excitement for me. I used to say, I wonder if you could able with all of us a big band. They look at the size of them band and be 6 people going against 35 and 40. But when we put on the performance, that's where the excitement comes in. When people stand up and give standing ovation and them kind of thing, that used to be really exciting for me. Dice won a bit, but competition on the whole, those I remember all the things. Because even like Panorama, the first Panorama, we won that, but it come down to we size a band because we're 10 aside, but we were still six or seven. So it was it was challenging, but we know that we had it locked down in the sense that we was a band when it's time to competition or anything, doing it professionally. We used to practice hard, work hard. We used to practice 2 or 3 times a day, yeah, to get because like in festival, nobody can afford to make a mistake. It's one person in each instrument. You understand? Anybody make a mistake, that's the end of we. And we used to stand up and give all them as a band. Run for their money, man. We never failed to make a final. They wanted to kind of eliminate we from the festival, especially with big band. So, but they could not eliminate we just so if you give me a score to play, and we could play it. What what evidence that you have that you could throw out the festival? So what they decide that they will have the festival, but the minimum amount of players on stage is 14. So we could not go again, could not enter the festival again because we was only 7, right? The only way that could, as I say, stop you from the festival musically is to give you a test piece that we could not play, that we didn't have the instrument for it. Like our band, we had 2 tenor pan, a double sax, and a treble guitar, and a 6 bass, right? Now, sometimes they give you a test piece for double tenor part. We don't have a double tenor part. But one at a time, because of the range of our instrument, one can play the double tenor part and one play the tenor part. And we went and we do exactly that, and they could not throw you up. So, but that is competition, and we enjoyed them times in the sense that it was so refreshing to go among other bands, bigger bands, and really prove yourself that kind of way. But it was hard work, trust me, hard work. One of our internationally biggest thing that we did was New Orleans Jazz Festival, right? That was big for me because in the sense, to go New Orleans itself, to be invited for a jazz festival, it takes something out of it, right? And actually, Winston Marsalis, he heard us at the festival because he was a judge. And he recommended that he wants Samaroo Jets in New Orleans Jazz Festival. They wanted to send somebody, but he said, no, I want Samaroo Jets. Because I think he was on the committee there, for the jazz committee there. And that's how we went to New Orleans Jazz Festival. But there was that's out of this world, boy. I mean, it's like 7 or 8 stages, every 45 minutes a different band on stage. And the people in that is like a big savannah, like how Squint Park Savannah is. That's how New Orleans Jazz Festival is. And boy, people like that. So that was a big, big thing for us, man. The year we play iMusic, boy. That year with iMusic, we get standing ovation for iMusic. 84. I never forget that festival. Because so much of nice thing happened in that festival because of that, when you send that. The comments after, I not Booksy music again, I jit music. The iMusic mashup replacement. I never forget that. And the sad thing about, we didn't win best guy, so our next man we did. But that was the most memorable festival for me. Yeah, picking iMusic, you go see Killer at his best. You go see why they call me Killer then. And that alone, I mean, there are some other things that it have the other festival. You could check me out on Ramage. I was going through some Ramage, like 94 and 96 and what. Well, Samaroo just win the first Ramage, and I jump other bands for Ramage, like Strike Stars, they came second, and then the next band I jump out, I think was Caribbean Magic. I think they come third or something so. So I used to be all about over the place drumming.
What would be your favorite performance for Panorama?
That's a difficult question, because here why it would be difficult for me. Because every Panorama song you do is it was a challenging thing because you're working with different arrangers. So, but to pinpoint one, supernovas, breakthrough, they came second with that. I drilled the band and I drummed for them. You know, with all the years of drumming, this will make it 58 years of playing, right? I never win a big band Panorama yet, you know. The closest I ever get to winning a big band Panorama was at Phase 2 with Music in My Blood. And but on final, I don't know what happened. The band reached up late in the savannah, was scared, so the band never get to rehearse before they go on stage, all kind of thing. And we come second or third or somewhere there. That was the close, because we win everything. We was going in as champion. We win preliminary, we win semis, and we was really going to win. But that night it just didn't happen because of their fault. I don't know why it just that happened, you know. But that was the closest I ever get to winning a big drumming for a big band Panorama. I would love to see drummers. Well, I had to say drummers because of myself. Take it to a next level in the sense of, you know, creating things for themselves and doing the best that they could. Some I would advise some of them to get into learning to read and play because it helps you a lot. Especially like for myself, like when you had to do recordings, right? Like I saw recording and everything. You don't hear a band in the studio, right? So what you know, like when I was like we say Shadow album, right? When I went to do the album, Shadow, it wasn't a band going on, and me and bass alone going on all the tracks, and then after the US submission will come and put in the stuff. So you might get a little dummy track from Shadows trying a little singing, but nothing like how the band's supposed to sound. But what we just do as drummers, we might take a trumpet sheet. So we will know where the band chorus coming in and then you could make your fills and things. But the only way you could follow that is if you know to read. And then studio drumming are totally different drumming from steel band drumming or live drumming. Studio drumming like a machine, you know. When you're kicking and your foot base up, it'll be 90. Don't hit 89, you know. It has to be 90 right through. I remember the first time I went to record was Crazy album. I was maybe about 17 or 18 years old. And when I had to hit that slam board and that thing all the time was pressure for me. I catch my tail. But I pulled through and make it through. You know, but it was a learning experience for me. The first time I recorded a Kaiso album. So that, and then after that, I did Shadow. I do 2 Shadow albums for him, you know. But this is the thing, you know, to create things space for yourself, to be an all-round drummer. You don't have to literally just take the pan itself. As I say, I play for everything. I used to play with 3 and 4 piece little string band in Hilton for dinner and thing. Or the bar. People come down the gym. Yeah, we had a thing, small 4-piece band. I used to play Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I played Woolside with Samaroo Jets. You know, so it had a lot of things going on. I mean, even myself, I went pop rock. We never went as a band to say we was a band. Is musicians just get together. They're sending music for you on tape that time. They say, hey, we playing the scene, man. This is the song we playing. And we listen to the tape. We get dry run in the band room before we go down Anchorage. And we go on Anchorage and perform. Yeah, that's how it go. That's when you reach a certain standard in your music that you can send out music to people, you know. But you think they're going to send that music to any other drummers? So when I mean people who are capable of doing the drumming, because it's not easy song you're going to play, all this pop rock, but it has some intricate things in it. So, and to go and play it basically on the spot, it don't be an easy thing at all. Being a musician is a certain lifestyle you have to live, you know. It's not like the everyday you're out there doing what everybody else doing, because you have to have time for practice and rehearsal, and plus, of course, you have time for your personal life. But within yourself, you know, listen, you have to put in this in order to get that, right? So, like for me personally, I never make it a problem. I know I know I have a show. I know how to prepare. I put in the work, because when I go out there, I want to be the best of me. So, and the only way I could achieve that is I can't light my candle at the both end. I have to stay, practice, and do what I have to do. I don't give the whosoever it is hire me that chance to be negative on me. When you call me to do a gig or a job, I get down to business to them and say, what you would like to get? What do you want me to do? What is the occasion? Or what, if, it, if it's a performance for the band, or if you want me to play personally with it. So these are the things I would find out. So at the end of the day, you don't have nothing to, let me say, throw back in my face then. I want to be upfront when I do it myself. So I can prepare myself physically and mentally fit. As a musician, people have to understand when people want to have a good time and lime and drink and have fun, that is the time a musician that get to work. You can't be lime and drink and have fun like thing, Because take for instance, we play Hilton as a resident band for 35 years, right? Now, every Sunday we in Hilton playing and all the little private functions and whatnot, right? Now, that is a commitment by itself. Sunday, most time you want to be with the family, have lunch, as the case may be. But that is your job. You have no other choice. I mean, you could say you're not doing it and you lose your job, So it's a heavy mantle to carry. And you had to, as I say, the person had to sit down and discuss that with whosoever. Look, you meet me in this. This is what I am. This is what I do professionally. This is how I earn my money. So, and the time you might want to go out is the time I might have to do a gig. So we will have to balance it somehow or the other, And I do this make it work. Yeah. The key thing to be anything, not a drummer alone, but a musician, your key thing is practice, right? Listen to the other musicians, listen to other drummers play, learn from them, but be yourself. That is the only way you will get people to recognize you. The only way probably you might get jobs or gigs, as the case may be, because if you want to sound like other people, then after how much labor record it would have, how much chambers it would have. So you have to be yourself. So that's one of the advice, and nothing wrong with hard work and practice.